or bad night for Spurs in Galatasaray. Let's go to Paul. He's a Spurs fan. All right, Paul?
How you doing, mate? You okay?
I'm all right, Paul. How you feeling?
I don't know what to say. I think I'm not convinced by Postecoglou at all. I'm not convinced. He's had his first season, and he did okay, got us fifth. But we are just inconsistently consistent. I mean, we win a game, lose a game, win a game, lose a game. And our performances-wise, I'm not clever either. And I think, personally, I want him out, actually. I want him out.
You want him out?
Yeah.
You want him out?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Come on, Paul. What are you talking about?
I'll tell you the reason why. Because last season, the commentary made to Spurs fans after the Man City game, before the Man City game, I mean, come on, you don't put your old fans down. Come on, seriously.
No, but he was a bit disappointed in it, wasn't he? Because, it's the rivalry with Arsenal. He maybe got that one wrong. He probably shouldn't have just said anything. But, you can't want him out.
No, listen, when it comes to tactics, okay, he's okay attacking, but however, to me, he's very naive and he doesn't listen. He's very stubborn, okay? Last season, he said something like about, we don't need a set-piece coach. Listen, in the English game, set pieces are massive, absolutely massive. That's the reason we've got big centre half and big centre midfield players to defend set pieces. Okay, our goalkeeper to me is not convincing, our goalkeeper. And I think the only good thing he did was changing Kulusevski from a wide into
he's playing him as a 10. Yeah.
Yeah, but to me, as a manager, he's been found out. He has been found out. I mean, this season, right? I mean, if you win a trophy, I'm very lucky we win a trophy. I can't see us doing it, really. I can't see.
Well, look, tonight wasn't a great game, but we're still sitting pretty in the Europa League table. Yeah, we've lost. We won the first 3 games. We've got 9 points. Yeah. You almost, you're basically guaranteed to go through to the groups, to the knockout stages. He's played he's changed his side tonight. I agree with you, inconsistent, but I think it's a bit harsh to say that, you want him out.
Well, like I said...
you want him to adapt maybe in certain games and be hard to beat.
I would say that. I'd say that I get it when you say he's stubborn, and most managers are stubborn, and I think he would have to learn. He'll have to learn exactly that in the Premier League, set pieces are a key component in winning and losing games. So, but to say that for the year and the bit that he's been there, that you're like, fifth... Getting Tottenham 5th after losing Harry Kane, well, it was a big achievement. Nobody thought Tottenham was going to do what they was going to do, especially when Harry Kane left. And then he slipped. Like you said, you're 7th in the Europa League.
Yeah. 3 points off 3rd, by the way, in the Premier League.
Hey, Paul, you harsh, my brother.
No, I'm not harsh. I've been a Spurs fan for nearly 50 years, a Spurs fan. I've seen so many managers. I've seen Keith Burkinshaw. I've seen Glenn Hoddle, Ozzy Ardiles. But Spurs, we're known for playing good football, good fancy, sexy football, winning trophies. But under him, right, I can't just win a trophy. I mean, if you look at the transformation of Man City, Liverpool, look what Klopp did. Klopp, he saw that Liverpool needed a goalkeeper centre. What he did, Sol Coutinho, and bought a centre for the goalkeeper. Okay, Pep Guardiola, he got rid of Joe Hart, bought other goalkeepers, and but our manager, what he's doing, he's not addressed the problem. He's not addressing it, is he? Our goalkeeper's very weak.
No, but Vicario's... Look, I get...
He's weak.
He's weak from crosses.
Very weak.
He's weak from crosses, but he's a good keeper. He's a great shot stopper. He's weak from crosses. But listen, at the end of the day, he's brought him... Van der Ven's come in. He's been brilliant. All right, he's picked up an injury. Dragosan... I'm not convinced with Dragosan with the style of football that we play. I don't know if he's too mobile enough.
No, mate. If you look at top goalkeepers, right, they command the area. Our goalkeeper doesn't. He's like he's scared. It's like he's a rabbit in the headlights. He's very scared. He doesn't command his area. I mean, if you're a goalkeeper, you don't command your area, right? How about the centre half? They have
we played Archie Gray centre half tonight. Ben Davies, like Ben Davies.
Ben Davies passed himself by Ben Davies. He needs to go. Ben Davies needs to go. Ben Davies is a longest serving player. He's been for about good 10 years.
He's a good servant for the football team, mate. But he's he's a fourth choice, really, isn't he? Let's be honest.
Exactly. He's behind Romero and Van der Ven, isn't he? And Dragosan.
Yeah, exactly. But I think you're being harsh, Paul.
I do. I ain't gonna lie. I do think you're being harsh.
No, but like I said, well, when he made those comments last season, I took it personal. Seriously. What he said last season about the Spurs fans.
Yeah, but what do you want the manager to say?
Nothing. Don't say anything.
I know, but he's got to. He gets asked 20 questions every day, does a press conference. What do you want him to say? Yeah, I want to lose. Well, of course he's not going to... Do you know what I mean? As a manager, you're going to want to win every game. So as fans, in that moment, you want to stop Arsenal winning the title. Yeah, I mean, for a bit of banter and all that, you go, yeah, we don't mind losing. But... The manager
can never say that.
You can't expect the manager to ever come out and say that. You can't hold that against him.
He can never come out and say that.
No. Listen. When you go to court and you're defending yourself, right? You always told me your solicitor, right? Just say no comment. No comment. Just say no comment.
No comment. He's not going to court. He's doing a press conference.
No, but you don't slag your fans down on live TV. You don't do that. The fans are a lifeblood of any club. The fans are simple as that. You don't put them down. Just don't say nothing.
I think it's harsh, Paul. It's harsh, mate.
But you took it personally, and I get it. You supported this club long before he came, and long after he's gone, you're going to support it. So listen, you took it personal. I get that.
What I do agree with is the stubbornness.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I hear that.
When I'm watching, just watching the highlights now, honestly, Galatasaray every time they look like they're going forward, there's gaps all over the park, and that is because I don't know how much he emphasises on defending. I don't get where he sees defending in the priority list of what he wants to do. And listen, the football we play is great. You come up against Osimhen away from home, who's a world-class striker. He's going to eat you alive if you're playing the way we play.
His goal, the defender turned straight into him, and he's just straight running on goal.
Yeah, Dragosan.
The Dragosan. So, again...
Euros. International football, right, is the thing that never... It's hard to sign players from international football.
Yeah.
Because international football and Premier League football is completely
totally
different. It's a completely different world. International football is hard to break down, sit on the edge of your box, play on the counter, slower football. And, as a centre-half, you can look... That's why Harry Maguire's always been good for England. But when he plays in these big games and it's end-to-end and you want to play a high line, you get found out. Dragosan, for me, he isn't a player that suits Spurs. So you play him in that position, he's going to get found out. Simple as that.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.